At a recent hearing in which free market conservatives whined about a private company conducting its perfectly legal business, a freshman Democratic congressman publicly humiliated his Republican colleagues. Intrigued? Then click that like and subscribe and enjoy the video. So look, it's 2023 and we're dealing with a new majority in the House of Representatives under the dysfunctional leadership of Kevin McCarthy. And rather than fulfilling their so-called commitment to America, you remember that promise they made everybody last year, voters of all stripes last year, in order to get that majority in the first place, that they would address real substantive issues that were affecting everyday Americans, like inflation and the economy and drugs and China and Russia, all these things. Well, they're not doing that, right? Because those of us who pay attention know they weren't going to do that. And as a matter of fact, they're leveraging their newfound congressional majority into it's like a domino effect, one hearing after another, into Twitter, social media companies, the Twitter files, Hunter Biden's laptop. I mean, all these things. It's one just grievance political show after another. Not good for substantive politics, and proof that once again the Republican Party has absolutely no interest in responsibly governing. Democrats are the only game in town, however sad that might be, in terms of responsible governance, right? So vote accordingly. Never vote for a Republican if you're actually interested in the government governing, right? But what they're doing now, what Republicans are doing now, is actually really good fodder for, popcorn politics and political commentary and stuff like that. And the House Oversight Committee has been doing these stupid hearings, and one the other day was about Twitter and social media and the Twitter files and Hunter Biden. There's a lot of content there, a lot of content. And we're going to be doing multiple videos about it, I am sure. And in this video, I want to draw special attention to a freshman Democratic congressman out of Florida named Jared Moskowitz. This is his first time in Congress. He took over from a retiring Democrat, won the election, and man, he has hit the ground rolling. Like he's killing it. And he has rhetorically and incisively demolished the hypocrisy of the Republican Party in terms of this hearing and their total lack of credibility. So the purpose of this hearing, just to set the table, is Republicans want to show that Twitter had a bias, an oppressive, tyrannical bias against conservatives and Republicans in the Trump administration. And they want to prove that the government in 2020 in particular, which by the way, the government in 2020 was led by Republicans, specifically Donald Trump, because he was the president. But time works differently for Republicans. They want people to think that Joe Biden, who was running for president as a private citizen, was somehow the government, even though, again, it was a Republican head of state, a Republican Senate, a Republican FBI director, for example. But apparently the government on behalf of Joe Biden and the Democrats were pressuring Twitter, which had a liberal or progressive bias, to silence, suppress, or censor Republicans and conservatives, right? The hearing goes about as well as you expect because not only is there little to no evidence to support that, there's actually plenty of damn evidence to the contrary, to say nothing of the fact that, again, the government was led by a freaking Republican. And the FBI was led and is still led by a freaking Republican that first freaking Republican appointed. So the whole thing just falls under scrutiny. It doesn't withstand scrutiny at all. But Jared Moskowitz points all of that out, and he references some of the revelations that occurred during this hearing, like the fact that Twitter changed its own rules to accommodate Donald Trump to avoid infracting his Twitter account. They bent over backwards to accommodate that freaking snowflake. And Donald Trump and the Trump White House tried to pressure Twitter into removing tweets from celebrities that insulted Donald Trump. So it is actually proof to the contrary. Anyway, let's dive into it because he puts it probably better than I ever could. Let's hear this freshman Democratic Congressman Jared Moskowitz.
Mr.
Chairman, I'm beginning to feel like a little bad for the majority. Like I just feel guilty because you guys have come today to try to prove that the Biden administration in coordination with Twitter is impugning free speech. And the problem is that Donald Trump, he is just this thing that hangs around your neck. Because at every turn, he undermines whatever credibility you want to have on this subject. I mean, Donald Trump and his administration, it's been proven, reached out to Twitter to take down tweets that got under his skin. The tough guy, Donald Trump, right? He got called the B word. Let's reach out to Twitter. Let's get the tweet taken down. You guys have no credibility. You have none. Your own guy taking free speech off of Twitter. You know, I also don't understand this bipolar thing that you're doing with Joe Biden. So every day you guys tweet out, Joe Biden is boring, he's sleepy. Every day you say it on TV. Now you want to tell the American people Joe Biden is an international super mastermind along with his son Hunter. I mean, it's just bananas. You know, the Trump family is getting billions of dollars of loans from foreign governments by using their White House relationships. Any questions? Any questions on that? No, I didn't think so. You want to know if the Trump family made any money selling PPE during the pandemic out of the West Wing? Any questions about that? No, I didn't think so. But let's move on.
Right. A lot of content there. Okay. He points out again, the Republican Party has absolutely no credibility on the subject of free speech absolutism, laissez-faire, free market capitalism, deregulating businesses. No credibility on any of this, right? Because they're violating all their stated principles. It was actually Donald Trump, who was a government official, trying to pressure a private company into accommodating him. By the Republican logic, that is a provable violation of the relationship between the government and the private sector. That constitutes a violation of the First Amendment. Nothing Biden did. Biden wasn't a government official. So, I mean, to point this out, he also points out again, and we've done videos about this, you want to talk about corruption with respect to Hunter Biden, a private citizen who has never been a member of government anywhere, under Obama, under his father, anywhere. Jared Kushner and members of the Trump family are making billions leveraging relationships and connections they made during their time directly, officially working for the Trump White House. Republicans do not care about that. Not only will they not investigate, they will actively oppose investigations into it. So he points out again the hypocrisy. But there's another clip I want to play for you because it's also really, really good.
There's been a 66% increase of anti-Semitism on Twitter since Elon Musk set it free. Mr. Chairman, I agree with you. It's not fair to say all conservatives are Nazis. That's preposterous. That's not true. But your Lord and Savior Donald Trump is having tea and dinner with them at Mar-a-Lago. Nick Fuentes right here, who's a picture that is tweeted at me all the time saying Jews are a virus in response to my tweets. Donald Trump's having dinner with him. Nazis at Mar-a-Lago. And so, no, not all Republicans are Nazis, but I got to tell you, Nazis seem really comfortable with Donald Trump. So I have questions about that, Mr. Chairman. Why is that? Why do I get these tweets? Let's talk about Kanye West, right? The chairman of the Judiciary Committee for 3 months praising Kanye West. We love Kanye, right? A Nazi. Clearly now. It took months for that tweet to come down. How come? I mean, these are things I'd love to know. Is it because maybe they're your voters? I mean, they certainly aren't voting for me.
That was a great performance by Jared Moskowitz. That was an incisive, Socratic dialogue. He pointed it out with humor and with receipts. I mean, he brought the freaking receipts to point this out. The reality is this. I have conservative family members and friends who vote Republican, and our political differences are profound, they are strained, and it's impacted to one extent or another at one point or another, my relationships with them. But I love them, and they're not Nazis. So I think that Moskowitz is being very factual when he says, look, not all Republicans are Nazis, not all conservatives are Nazis. It's true. But it sure does seem like all Nazis are conservatives and all Nazis are Republicans. They're not backing Democrats. They're not backing Biden. They're backing Republicans, okay? And there's a reason for that, because whether we like it or not, there's less daylight between the Republican Party and conservatives and Nazis than there are between Nazis and Democrats, right? They hew more closely to the GOP for a reason. And he's right to point it out. So, again, I think he successfully points out the GOP has no credibility on issues of free speech. They have no credibility on issues of free market capitalism. They have no credibility on issues of unsavory elements interacting with members of political parties. They are guilty on every count to a far greater extent than the Democratic Party and Joe Biden. And everybody here needs to remember that. Hey, you! Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, and I hope that you did, please hit the like and subscribe buttons below. And if you absolutely hated the video, the best revenge for you is also to hit the like and subscribe buttons below. That'll teach me. If you want to share an opinion or share some feedback, go ahead and leave a comment, all right? 2023 is a year of change, hence the aggressive rebrand and commitment to new content. Inspired by my friends Luke Beasley and STV Philly, my personal goal for this channel is to hit 40,000 subscribers by the end of the year. So I'm hoping you'll do me a solid by spreading the word and the videos to potential fans and hate watchers alike. And in the meantime, we'll be pondering politics again with you very soon.